Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the month again. Once again, I'm going to make the same joke. No, I don't have a period. No, today we're going to watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot or remake, whatever it is. Now, you'd think, are you going to go see a movie, man? You're going to sneak in some candy? One of the best candy bars, but no, I ate a pack of Lifesavers right before this, so don't worry, y'all. We got no ticket, no popcorn. We're just going to walk in there and see what happens. How am I going to do this? Yeah, wait, hold up. No idea if I even get a good angle of this. Probably not. All right, y'all. We got the little ticket. We better go see this movie. We're gonna hope it's good. I really do hope so. As a big horror fan, I like the series. Oh, the third one, dude. But I mean, overall, let's have some hope. Well, y'all, we're back from the movie. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. That sucked. That was bad. Dude. You know what? Before I just immediately start hate dumping on this like Lex Luthor, let's talk about the positives, okay? There are positives in this movie. We'll talk about them when I get in my car. All right, y'all, we're in my car. All right, where do I even begin? I mean, again, let's talk about the positives, I guess. I mean, there's not too many of them, so the cinematography looks good. I mean, for what is supposed to be more of a modern, kind of revamping of the series, you'd think it's gonna look good. I'll give them credit where it's due. It does look good. I'm genuinely thinking here of what I liked about this movie. The kills, great, dude. Those were awesome. They had some really fun, cool scenes of leading up to them, especially. Even with the attacks, the action is great, y'all. I was impressed by what they did, with how they were able to set stuff up, with the action that led into the kill, obviously. The gore, it's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. There was one singular joke in that movie that I genuinely liked. And the joke is, if you've not seen the movie, I mean, y'all, this video is a whole spoilers, y'all. Don't watch this if you've not seen it, or if you just don't care to. There's one joke around the middle where it's all the main characters and Ray from the first movie, because, this is a requel, y'all. They gotta bring back the old cast to make this movie enjoyable. They made one joke about, this asshole named Teddy, we'll get to him later, dude. Oh, I got a whole little spiel about him. There's this one joke he makes when they're saying, why don't we just get the fuck out of here and go to the Bahamas? And now, if you don't know, the reference of that joke is to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which is the sequel, where they go on an island, they win a contest to an island vacation and get killed there as well. So I thought that was a nice little joke of a reference, to one of the older films. There's only 3 of them, and, well, yeah, that's about it. Oh, and the old cast. The old cast, I'm pissed off, because they didn't have, they had a good bit of Ray in there, they had a good bit of Jennifer Love Hewitt, Helen, I mean, what the hell, dude? They did not have enough of her in that movie, dude. I thought her scene with, Danica, whatever her name is. Danica, I think, it's Danica, my bad. It's just such a weird name. I thought it was cool, this dream sequence of Danica's this more, she's the Helen of this movie, kind of. And so, to see her meet up with the actual actress, 30, 40 years later now, pretty much, it's cool to see, y'all, 30 years later. It was a cool scene to see with, Dream Helen and Dream, this and that. But that's about it. That's where all my positives are going. The old cast is good. The kills are great. The action is good. And the cinematography. That's literally about it. That's it. I don't have anything else good to say. Now we're getting to the dog shit parts of this movie. Look, I'm not going to trash too much on the actors, like the main cast. You know, they did their best with what they had. But dude, that dialogue was not it, dude. I don't know what these scriptwriters were thinking by just giving them bad dialogue and just generic scenes that drag on too long, that don't make any sense. And then you get to one scene, but then it just cuts to another, and it's like, well, what happens at the end of this? Like, why do we have plot holes? The biggest plot hole of this whole fucking shit show of a movie is there's this girl in the movie, her name's Tyler, right? And the main character's name is Ava. It's towards the beginning of the movie, there's just a random cut to Ava making out with this girl Tyler for no, like, just full on making out with her. Not like, you know, like, trying to keep it ominous, you know, it's like kissing a little bit. No, just going, oh yeah, harder, you know. Yeah, like full blown making out with this girl. I'm like, dude, are you serious? I believe this is right after the incidents of whatever year they had. It wasn't 97, you know. This is much more recent. After that incident, you know, cuts to a year later, and it just cuts to them making out. Like, not even a character introduction for Tyler. Just them making out, dude. I'm like, okay, like, what are we watching? And keep in mind, this is after, like, towards the beginning of the movie when they're all, like, there. How Danica is literally recommending to Ava that this guy Milo, who's at their wedding, you know, Ava should get with Milo, you know? And, you know, you would have thought, okay, cool. But then why would you establish that and then immediately reveal that she's a lesbian? Or lesbian. We'll talk about it in a minute. Another person getting pulled over. And then, you know, you get the whole Tyler spiel. Tyler's not a good character, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I don't enjoy her character. I don't like her podcast. And the setting up to her death, is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm saying, like, with the action suspense. But the thing with the suspense is they got the jump scares, but the problem, they have the jump scares not because, like, to genuinely scare you, but to keep you awake, because this movie is boring, dude. I don't want to watch a remake of a classic film post-Scream, which you already can't top, but, like, still, that's the third cop I've seen. If we're gonna make a remake, y'all, why not do something different? You're remaking the original. I get restrictions and whatnot. You know, like, you don't want to try and go just full blown, or just like, no, like, it's not even the original at that point. That's kind of what you gotta do though in this, with some of these movies. Like, it's a remake for a reason. I think Friday the 13th is the best example I can think of in recent times that I've seen a remake for a classic and it worked well. Why? Because they didn't follow the same formula of, oh, dumb, sexy campers are gonna go make out on Camp Crystal Lake and this boy Jason is gonna go kill them. No, they said, screw that idea, and threw in a whole new plot that somewhat retains to the original story. It was good. But with this movie, you're not doing anything. There's nothing new here except for the ending, which the ending we're going to get to last is complete. I hate it, dude. It's so stupid. Like, what are we doing? Did I mention Teddy yet? Yeah, I did. Teddy's the biggest douche I think one of the biggest, like, horror douches or stereotypes I've ever seen of a character. If you've seen Final Destination 4, he's just a less horny Carter. That's all he is. Or, no, not Carter, Hunt. He's a less horny Hunt. That's all his character is. He's a stereotyped hot boy who just wants to get drunk, and that's it. There is no much of a redeeming character quality for this character. I'll give props to the actor that plays him. I have no idea who it is, but he played a really good asshole, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Now, what else do I want to talk about with this movie? I don't know how boring it is, like I've already said. You know, Yeah. Every other scene just feels like it's dragging on, or it feels completely out of place in this movie. I've already mentioned the Tyler scene, a lot of I can't even think of his name, Teddy's scenes are just him being a douche for no reason, because that's his whole character, y'all. You know, he's just a douchey frat boy, pretty much. It's not fun to watch. If you're gonna write annoying characters like that, then give them good writing. The writing in this movie actually it doesn't even confuse me. It's just like, what are we doing? It's not like, so bad, like, it's just like gooning and rizzing. It's not like that. It's just lame. It's not anything good or special or trying to be different from the original. It doesn't feel redeeming enough, and when you get to these like slower scenes where, the writing is really showing like where it is dragging, you're just sitting there wondering, can we get to the next scene? And I'm going to talk about the worst part of this movie. There is one part of this movie that, aside from the ending, pisses me off just as much. It's when Trent's on his boat drinking his probably sixth beer, it looked like, and is opening and like closing doors. They're opening and closing, and so he walks inside of the boat, go turn off the system. And here's where it gets to absolute, like, what the hell, dude? You can clearly see in the first shot that it shows, there is a fisherman, mannequin or person, I don't know which one. You can clearly see that in the background, right next to the security system. I don't know how the hell this idiot just doesn't see that. He still walks forward, walks right next to it. There's two of them there. I don't know how this idiot doesn't realize that, hey, didn't I only have one of these? And, it's like Scream 3, kind of, where the girl's hiding from Ghostface in the prop set, and there's all of those ghost faces, like, just lining up there. Like, with that, though, if you're trying to hide, you can clearly tell which one of them has a person in it, dude. That's not hard. That shouldn't be that hard. I get, in that case, she's panicking, like, ah! Running for her life, screaming like a little girl, I mean. But still, in this case, it's just stupid to watch. Because then, what do you know? It was, one of the fishermen was, the killer. And so, Teddy turns around, starts walking away, gets absolutely hooked by this fisherman, dude. And let me say, this fisherman looks great in this movie. That's another compliment I will give them. The fisherman looks great. Now, the plot twist is still bad, though. I'm not gonna lie. But the fisherman looks great in the scenes that he's in. But yeah, Trent fights off the killer, tries, gets stabbed all to hell so many times, and then knocks out the killer, right? Now, he is badly injured, okay? I'll say that. He's trying to crawl, but here's where I'm getting confused, y'all. He's on a boat. So why the hell, how does he crawl from his boat to his parents' house? What are we doing there, y'all? What's the logic? Unless you're going to tell me this man's living on a mega yacht, like, what are we doing? Well, I don't think boats have extremely long staircase, not like short and going up, like platinum Kardashian style staircases. I don't think boats have those. Now, unless it's a mega yacht, which I don't think it is. I mean, his parents threw up the money for it, which I still don't think it is. Then what are we doing? What was the point? And then here's where it gets even stupider. He tries calling for his mom. His voice is pretty much gone because he's stabbed so much. And the killer comes back, picks him back up, fights him a little more, and then here's where it just gets even dumber. The fisherman rings the doorbell. Yeah. So how do we go from the boat to the house? Like, I really don't think he would have had the energy to make it that far, man. But okay. The killer rings the doorbell, goes and hides, and then, lo and behold, rich daddy father answers the door to find his son bleeding to death on the ground. And then here's okay, I get it, your son is dying right in front of you. But if this just happened to him, like, taking the assumption that he didn't just do this to himself like 2 hours ago, why would you run out there and start holding him, knowing there's potential danger? I get it, you're not thinking properly, your son's dying in front of you. But then this idiot, he's like, holding son, like, son, don't die on me, no! And then, well, Teddy dies, obviously, because if you see the movie, yeah, he ain't surviving that. And then the killer pops out from behind this dude, which, here's another complaint as we're tying into this. I don't see how none of them can hear the killer. He's got loud-ass boots on, dude. I thought it was pretty clear you could hear this guy, just stomping away like, ha, 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 ha. But no, according to my logic, just nah. And so he stabs the guy with his fishing. It's not a fishing hook. It's I'll throw it up on screen because I have no idea what you call it. I'm probably gonna sound like an idiot for that. But he stabs the guy through, I believe it's his neck. He stabs him through the neck and just. It's either his neck or jaw. I'm pretty sure it was his neck, though. Alright. Now that we've got all my major middle-of-the-road complaints pretty much gone, I do have one more somewhat compliment/complaint, though. There is one more. Before we get to this stupid-ass ending, we got one more thing to talk about. It's when Danica is in the bath, with her red bath bomb, looking like blood. Girl, did you have your period in the tub? Gee. But her new boyfriend, because, spoiler alert, Teddy and Danica break up after the whole incident, because Teddy is an idiot, dude. He's the reason this Sam Cooper guy is dead, because he wanted to mess around and they're like, hey, look at me, and then causes the guy to fling off the road and off the cliff, dude. I'm like, bruh, man, like, what are we doing? Fuck you, Teddy. Yeah, I hate you. You caused this whole movie and this whole incident because you want to be an idiot. And so, getting to what I'm talking about, this Danica girl, her new soon-to-be husband, Wyatt, he's in the kitchen just swigging a bottle of wine or whatever he's drinking, like, just swigging that thing like it was Jack Daniels. And then he sees the pool lights go on, okay? Weird, but alright. He stands at the door, opens it, says hello, anyone out there? The lights turn back off. Okay. But why the hell do you leave the door open, dude? Why? If you just saw that happen, I'm immediately slamming that glass door shut, I'm putting my curtains up, and I'm hiding in my bedroom. Okay? But no, this guy decides to get the real great idea. Don't close the door after seeing that. And so he turns around and starts to walk away. BAM! Gets spear gunned in it's close to his heart, dude. Like somewhere above or below there, around that area. He gets spear gunned and starts getting dragged away. He manages to escape that. He starts to crawl away. Gets spear gunned again. And it's great. It is an argument. I think it's my favorite kill of the movie. From the setup, except for the stupid ass him leaving the door open. Ignoring that, kill-wise, it's great. My only other complaint with it, though, is when the pool lights go on. You know what that makes me think of? What do you think that makes me think of, y'all? That makes me think of the opening scene in Scream with, the one girl's, I have no idea what her name is. You know who I'm talking about, though. Everyone knows the scene, what part of the scene. It's when she's on the phone with Ghostface, and then the pool lights go on, and her boyfriend, Steve or something, is just, sitting there. It made me think of that, and I'm like, bro, why are we trying to be a much better movie? We're not a good movie, y'all, but Scream is a masterpiece. Why are we just trying to steal from that thing, man? Alright. Getting all my complaints and compliments out of the way for the whole beginning and middle, time to shit all over this ending, dude. This ending pisses me off so much. So, the ending is revealed that it is this girl named... Why can't I think of her name? Sorry, her name's Stevie, dude. That just goes to show how little I cared for these people, dude. It's Ava... whatever Ava, Teddy, Milo, Stevie, and Daisy, whatever I said her name was, dude, like that just goes to show, not only do I have poor memory because I just don't care for these characters, I really don't care for these characters, dude, because they're not written well. They're not written well. The acting, well, I can't really blame the acting entirely on the actors. You know, they're doing what they can with the script. But, like, still, if you're going to want me to memorize your characters' names, give them good writing and character traits. You gave Teddy, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm a douche. You gave Ava nothing. You gave Stevie, oh, spoiler alert, y'all, here's the ending. Stevie's the killer. Now, if you're wondering why she's the killer, well, after everything blew up on her because her dad spent all her college fund, she went to rehab, you know, this and that. But the guy that got killed, Sam Cooper, that was her boyfriend. That was her boyfriend who was coming to pick her up from wherever in the movie that said she was being picked up from. Sound dumb enough? Yes. Yes, it is, dude. But here, not only is that bad, you know, Ray's on his boat, you know, he gets there, he saves them, right? But then we'll get to the more bullshit ending. One of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen in a horror movie, like ending-wise, it actually pisses me off more now that I'm talking about it. So it turns out Ray also helped her. Yeah, Ray from the original helped Stevie kill all these kids. Yeah, that's the major, even other plot twist, dude, that Ray helped him. I really liked Ray in the first one. So to see this bullshit, just like, dude, what are we doing? Like, obviously, you know, you can't make it Jennifer Love Hewitt. That would not work. But you're making a requel, and you're going to reveal that one of the two OG survivors is the other killer after his own past experience with this exact same thing is the other killer? Are you joking? No. I hate it, because then Ray ends up revealing himself, saying that him and Steve were going to let Ava live had she have not found out. But then there's an earlier scene, like right before this all happens, where Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, Julie, finds out for herself, you know, this and that. It's just so continually stupid that, like, I don't care. I don't care for this ending because of how dumb it is. Why are you revealing that one of the two OG survivors is one of the killers? That's such a dumb plot twist. Stevie, okay, I can excuse that. You know, I get that. Alright, whatever. But then to reveal Ray, arguably the best character in this movie, as one of the killers? Why? Why even bother? What was the point? Yeah. If you want my honest rating, I give this a literal 4 out of 10. I don't care for it. It's bad. It's not good. It took everything from the first one and just decided, oh, hey, oh, there's another cop up there. Oh, hey, let's take everything we learned that was so good about the first one, put it in a more modern style-ish, call it a requel, and make it more bullshitty. Because, yeah, that's what the fans wanted to see, y'all. That is clearly what us fans wanted to see from the I Know What You Did Last Summer requel. Yeah, the movie stinks. I'm probably going to go watch a Cody Leach review on this and wait for Dead Meat to post a video about it. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And the next horror movie I have some reviews is probably going to be Weapons, which, look, I've seen the trailer. I have very high hopes for that movie. I really do, man. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.